So today we're going to talk about why most small business budgets actually fail and how to actually fix it. I'll tell you, most small business budgets don't fail because the numbers are wrong. They fail because there's a lack of a process around how to operationalize that budget. So let's talk about why budgets fail. The real purpose of a budget isn't about being perfect. It's not supposed to be a crystal ball. It's about making better decisions. It's sort of like that GPS on your journey during that year. I also think that budgets help create some financial discipline versus just always looking at the historicals. Now you're kind of you're able to compare what you thought you were going to be doing versus what you actually did. And I'll tell you one last thing, if it's not going to change behavior, the budget process isn't working in your company. So now I'm going to jump into the 5 common reasons why small business budgets actually fail. So failure number 1 is most budgets were actually built on hope. Revenue assumptions could have been aggressive. You weren't thinking about maybe your headcount need and growth. You can't really, most businesses don't really experience growth without making the needed investments in marketing. So expenses get approved, and yet it wasn't your best case scenario. So how to fix that? Well, you can always start with your current run rate, making sure that what you're anticipating to ship is actually grounded in what you've experienced historically. 2, lean into conservative assumptions. Try not being too aggressive especially around pricing. And the last piece is think about scenario planning. I think it's important to kind of have a sense of not worst case, but best case and base case. Base case kind of gives you a ground. Your best case gives you a little bit of a ceiling. So now you have a sense of like what we could do based on current operations. Failure number 2, and I think this is like the most prevalent one, too much detail and not really enough thoughtfulness into holistically how does this plan come together. It's all too often I'm looking at chart of accounts with over 100 accounts and endless micro categories and classes, time spent managing the spreadsheet versus actually operationalizing your budget process. So how to fix that? I get it. Your accounting system can have the 100 chart of accounts. It can live there all day long. But in your budget, it's okay to group many of those accounts into one line item. It gives you one thing to focus on. Secondly, focus again on 10 to 15 things that actually drive your free cash flow. Worrying about your electricity bill when your rent is going up by 10-15%, it's not worth your time. And then the last piece is if it didn't actually impact decision making, just cut that expense. Just cut that line item. Group it into other. Failure number 3, and it depends on the business and it depends on the industry, because I see so many budgets that actually ignore the most important reason why you create a budget. It's not really to figure out am I profitable or not. It's really about cash flow. So all too often, business owners are like, oh, we're profitable, but I don't have any money in the bank account. The timing of the cash versus the timing of the revenue recognition is off. And lastly, there's like little to no visibility around cash runway. So when I'm thinking about how to fix that, many business owners will create a budget that resembles the accounting. So the accounting numbers kind of look more accrual than cash. So I try to tweak the timing of the revenue and expenses so that it's more of on a cash basis. Secondly, watch the burn and watch that cash runway. And I would say the last thing is watching for the ebbs and flows of that seasonality impact on your cash flow. So failure number 4 actually has nothing to do with the budget, but it has to do with who's actually looking at the budget. I sound like a broken record, but where does this go wrong? You built a budget for the sake of building a budget. You look at it once a year. Maybe you pull it out in December so that you can create the next budget. And it only lives in finance, or maybe it just lives again in the top right-hand drawer of your desk. There's no operational recurring review of that budget versus where you're actually performing to. So how to fix this? Keep it simple. Don't have to get over sophisticated. I would start with having a finance review after your accounting close call. It's the simplest way to align your budget with what you actually did the prior month and identify the why, the variance. Why did I miss revenue? Why did my salaries increase more than expected? Think about having those conversations. And frankly, if you find yourself having those conversations by yourself, that may be a good opportunity to start thinking about bringing in a fractional CFO or even a financial planning analysis service like the ones we provide. And the last failure mode is when you're building a budget in a black box, in isolation, without taking business strategy into consideration. I'll give you an example. Many times we'll see revenue growing at 10, 15, 20% a year over year or month over month, but we're not seeing the increasing needs in inventory, or we're not seeing the increasing needs in headcount, or worse yet, the investments required in marketing to achieve that revenue growth. So it's important that when you're building a budget to take a step back and apply some of that business acumen that you've accumulated over the years. It is your business. Nobody knows your business better than you do. So making sure that what you're seeing there feels realistic. If I were to actually grow this business by 15, 20%, do you really think my headcount would stay at X? The answer is probably no. So I'm going to go back to basics here. The simple truth here is the fix is make this document into a process. Bring that cadence, whether it's once a month, twice a month, or in my case, I do it 4 times a month. Making it into a dynamic process where you're revisiting, here's what I thought, here's what I said, but here's what actually happened and why. You'd be surprised. Sometimes that why, you didn't miss the goalpost. The goalpost may have moved 10 yards. So there you have it. Most small businesses, they don't need another spreadsheet. They really need a financial planning process. And if you're interested, check out our website. We've got a great FP&A offering, and we'll put a link in the description for you. Thanks. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe. And don't forget, we have plenty of YouTube videos around financial planning and analysis. Take a look.